Good morning, good evening, and a good afternoon, traders. Steve here at Logic FX Trading, and welcome to another trading room summary on Tuesday, the 12th of May 2020. Okay, guys, I've been calling these short over the last few weeks, basically because they've gone up, in my opinion, and the opinion of a lot of other people. They've gone up far too fast. And they're not reflecting what the world economy is doing at the moment. And therefore, it's highly probable that we will get some sort of drawdown. Now, whether we break the bottom or not is another thing, but certainly a move into 61.8, somewhere around there. We could see that happening. Doesn't mean it's definitely going to happen. It may not even happen. But from that point of view, guys, the least I'd be doing is I wouldn't be trying to trade these long. Anyone who has been trading them long so far will have done very well for themselves up to now. But we're kind of getting to the point where they need a correction, guys. Let's just see if it happens or not. So what I'm suggesting is, if you want to trade one of them, take one and put a small trade on it, guys. Don't be putting your account at risk by trying to trade one of these down. But I also wouldn't be trying to excessively try to trade them up. This is the Aussie. It's come up. It's actually been moving sideways for the last month. So is there a bit more downside to it? Or is it just going to continue in this sideways movement until we come out of the coronavirus lockdowns, and then we'll start to see it moving? Now, I am aware that the Aussie, the Australian economy is coming out of lockdown, but we'll have to see if there's a second wave or not, guys. That's the big thing that everyone's watching for at the moment. If it looks like there's going to be a second wave, then we will see definitely see a drawdown. But if the second wave doesn't materialize, then we'll see our corrective phase here turn into an impulsive move up. The yen, the Nikkei, same thing. It's moved up. It's in that structure there, guys. What I said way back was, when we first had this, I said we wait for a breakout of structure, we wait for some sort of setup. You have an alarm line on there, and as it starts to come up, then you trade it. Maybe you get an A, B, C, and then you get the next drop down there. We didn't get the drop all the way down. We got the ABC, and now it's continued to move on up. At some point, this is going to correct again, guys. This is just how the charts move. Regardless of whether you're watching fundamentals or not, this is how the charts move. German, same thing, guys. We said we were looking for a breakout, a pullback, and then an impulse up. And from there, we would look to trade it down. Well, it's turned into a 5 wave. We've had a move back down into the 4th wave. We're getting this pushing up. Surely there has to be another push down, and that may be the correction that comes to 61.8, or of course they could come to 0 and push on down, but we'll have plenty of time to work that out, that that's what's going on. But at the moment it's still pushing up. We have to see. French, same thing, guys. Impulse, A, B, C, zigzag. Is this the start of the next move down? We don't know. Sometimes it turns into be some more complex. Sometimes they just do that and off they go, guys. But if you're looking for a setup to go short, you couldn't ask for much better than that, folks. The UK pushing up again. They're coming out of lockdown this week. We'll have to see how that goes. Obviously, there's a bit of positivity because they're coming out of lockdown. But I would just keep an eye on. There's an impulse, guys. This is coming up very gradually. Are we going to get another drawdown? NASDAQ, well, off it goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 was what I had counted. Pulled back, and then maybe a correction, maybe into there, maybe a bit further. But it's just pushed on up again, guys. But yet again, you look at this, maybe it's a 1, 2, 3 ending diagonal, and then you're going to get your drop. I certainly wouldn't be trying to trade it long at this point, guys. And if you don't want to trade it down, then just allow it to do what it's going to do if that happens, and then from down here start to trade it long again, guys. And that way you don't lose out here if it drops, and you don't lose out here if it continues to go long. But if we do get some sort of drawdown, as you would expect, then from there you look to trade it long, and then you're trading that with a higher degree of probability, guys. S&P, same thing. We counted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 last week. It's pushing on up. Maybe it's putting in a double top. Could we see a drawdown to there, maybe break that bottom? Then that would be it, and off it would go again. But certainly at this point I wouldn't be trying to trade it long. Does that mean it can't go long? No, it does not mean that. What it means is at this point is not a good probability of it going long. There's a good probability at this point of it drawing down. In other words, we end up with that same sideways movement that we've had on the Aussie before we come out of lockdown, and then things go again, folks. You'll see it on oil as well. We'll look at oil in a moment. Yet again, 1, 2, 3, that's what I called. And then I said from there, let's see if we're going to get a continuation of this. In other words, it's a pullback. And by the way, the Bank of America has said that this isn't a bull movement. This is a pullback of a bearish market, which they think is going to drop again. So it's not just me that thinks this, guys. There's other people out there as well. Dow Jones is one that I'm short in. I've been short in it from over here, because over here we got this drawdown, pulled back up, and I thought, well, that's going to be a zigzag. Let's see if it turns into something deeper. But it went long on me. It didn't get stopped out. It almost got stopped out. It came back. I got into the red, or into the green slightly, and I thought, you know what, if I take my money here, this is going to do that, and then I'll be kicking myself. Didn't take my money. I'm back in the red again. It's pushed on up. Could be a little zigzag, guys. Impulse, zigzag, drop. I'm not saying that's definitely going to happen, guys, but if you were looking for a better setup, you'll not find one better than that for a short move. Let's see how it goes. If you don't want to trade short, guys, allow it to happen and then trade it up, because of course it may not go short. It may just do that. But I also wouldn't, because of that threat, I wouldn't be trying to trade it long either. So either do nothing or trade it short, guys. DXY, let's just zoom out a little bit. When we got that drop, I said it'll stay up here. Any of you listening to me, I said it'll stay up there while the safe haven aspect of the dollar's in operation, which it is. As we come out of lockdown, start to look for the dollar to drop. I've drawn it over there. I don't know if it's there, whether it's there, or whether it's today. I doubt that it's today, but you understand what I mean. We're not looking for the dollar to break through there. Can it push up a little bit? Certainly, we don't know what's going to happen over the next few weeks. If we get another, if we get a second wave, certainly the dollar could challenge that previous high. But eventually, if that doesn't happen, and even if it does happen, eventually will come right and you'll get a drop. So in the meantime, I'd be neutral on the dollar, waiting for the world economy to start kicking in a month, in 2 months, in 3 months time. We'll start to see the dollar drop, guys. So that's what we're keeping an eye on. Let's just go to oil, and obviously you can plug that into the major pairs. Oil has come off. I said that it would probably go in a range. I'm not expecting it to go up there. There's still a glut, and it's still being produced, and we're not out of lockdown yet, guys. And even if we come out of lockdown, it's going to take industry a while to get back up to where it was before we got coronavirus, and that could take months, if not a year, 18 months to happen, guys. So I'm not expecting oil to go up there. What I said back here was when it comes up that we'll get it bouncing along. We weren't entirely sure where the peak would be, but it would bounce along. Well, perhaps that's the peak, and maybe there's a bit of downside to this, maybe a bit of upside. It'll bounce along like that until we come out of the lockdown. Things get moving, people start using their cars again, transport starts running at full scale again, guys. That's when the oil price will start to go up. If you go back to the last time it was at these levels, so we're near 10 minutes. We'll get out of this soon, guys. What you guys need to do is go back and look at what happened in the past, long ago, when we were at this level before. Just fluctuate it along there, guys, and then we started to get the growth. So we could easily stay like this for a long time. Doesn't mean there aren't opportunities in there, but don't be expecting it to suddenly take off up in that direction, guys, just because that's where it came from. So we could end up bouncing along like that for quite a while. That's the reasoning behind this, guys. You could end up bouncing along here for quite a while before it starts to gradually move back up. Okay, guys, that's 10 minutes. That'll do us for today. That's what I'm keeping an eye on. Obviously, there's a lot of other things because we go through all of these charts every day. If you want that, you can always subscribe on Logic FX Trading. Bye for now.